Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome back to my channel. Alright, so, if you do love my channel and it has been helpful, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if this reading resonates with you, please be sure to leave me a comment and let me know. Alright, so I've upgraded some of my narcissist cards this week. I got quite a bit of feedback last week. And so I had been working on another deck for a while that's quite a bit thicker, and it has a little bit more like how to deal with the situation instead of just this is what it is what it is. Now some of these cards have some information on the back as to how to cope with this. Alright, so hopefully you're not dealing with any narcissists, and if so, then please just disregard that part of the reading. So we're going to start out with what's crossing you. Sagittarius, we have your first card is the Moon card. And this card is associated with Pisces. And I absolutely love this card, okay? It's got a crab right on the front. It's got like a wolf. And it's got two towers. You can't probably see it. This is a really old card, but this is my learning deck, and I love it because I made it myself. So it's got the moon and it's got the sun, so it's got quite a bit of information here. So upright, this is having to do with the illusion of fear, anxiety, insecurity, and subconscious. And something is not as it appears to be. So if you're not sure of your destination or your unconscious situation, then your irrational reactions, be sure to follow your intuitions and your shadow self. So this card means a lot to me as to do with my epilepsy. Sometimes I will feel fine and I think that I have my stress under control, but yet my subconscious hasn't let it go. Whatever was plaguing me has followed me into my dreamland, and I wake up having a grand mal seizure. So this, I'm telling you all this about my personal self because sometimes you might be walking around at work and you know, when you see your family and friends and everything seems fine and you're happy-go-lucky, but you may not realize what your subconscious mind is going through. All right, so honestly, no amount of medication, or even a lot of people believe that marijuana or CBD can help epilepsy, and I know that it does help to calm you down, definitely helps. But the only thing that's ever kept me from having a seizure when I was in like a really, really dark time was meditation. And that was after my mother had passed away and I was staying alone a lot, and I was really concerned that I was going to have a seizure. So I started meditating every day, and you know, that seemed to really help. But you know, you don't always know when your subconscious mind is running away with itself, okay? So just be sure to take some time for self-healing, okay? If you don't believe in meditation, then, you know, read your Bible or whatever it is that you do believe in. And that should help you to just get yourself on a more positive ground before you go to sleep, okay? So your narcissist card that goes along with what's crossing you is fake. So somebody might be faking you out. Alright, so just watch out for people who are really, really nice and who act like they're your BFF, but they don't really do anything to help you. You definitely don't want to find yourself getting stabbed in the back. Alright, so good news here. For your recent past, we've got the 9 of Cups, which means that you're almost there. The 10 of Cups is like complete happiness, serene, everything's the way that you wanted it. and and you've succeeded at your goals, okay? So this is an active mind that enjoys success and accomplishment and their deepest desires. Your wishes have been fulfilled, you're comforted, you're happy, and you feel totally satisfied. So that's your recent past. And it shows the relationship killer goes with this card, which is the vulnerable narcissist. So sometimes you might feel like everything's all good, and that card right there is associated with Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And the vulnerable narcissist, they believe in revenge. They may be trying to get revenge because of jealousy or some type of, they might have to do with vindictive behavior. A narcissist can never accept the responsibility for whatever it is that they have done that may have caused the issues in the first place. Number 2 is a failure to communicate, distrust, it leaves you feeling sad. All right. And number 3, the relationship killer for the narcissistic, vulnerable narcissist, is innocent people admit their guilt. All right. So this can be like if you have been pulled over and maybe you have a narcissistic cop who is berating you and just to the point where maybe you're epileptic or you're seizure prone, or you might have anxiety attacks or something like that, and you're just to the point where you're about to just lose it, and you'd rather just go and sit in jail than deal with another moment of this berating. So you just give in, you just admit it, whatever it is that they're accusing you of. And this can be police, but it could also be your boss, it can be your teacher, it can be your lover, it could be your parents. There's any number of people who can be narcissists in your life who will berate you until you give in. So watch out for that. I say, you got to do what you got to do in the long run, but try not to ever give in, because you don't want to find yourself admitting to something that you didn't do, no matter how hard that they try to force you into, saying that you've done something. If you didn't do it, then just don't admit to it. All right, no safe place to fall. Reciprocity, which is security. So if you are in a vulnerable narcissistic relationship, then you're not going to feel like it's a balanced endeavor. All right, so the overly dependent narcissist can keep you on your toes all the time. All right, so loneliness and tension are some of the things that you might feel if you're going through this. And what can you do? Once the walls are up, trust is hard to regain. Beliefs and stress cause problems, and distorted thinking or bad information, such as there's some other things that might be causing issues, such as paranoia, obsessive compulsive disorder, and borderline personality disorder can cause some of this distorted thinking. All right, so you did have the 9 of Cups, so maybe everything's looking up, but for some reason you're not 100%, and any of these issues could definitely keep you from getting your kingdom come, right? All right, so your immediate future is the 3 of Cups, which is all about celebrations and accomplishments, toasting to your joy, connecting, and especially through your emotions, and a sign of victory. Be sure to turn to your female friends for love and compassion. All right, so this is basically showing that your best friends, you've finally gotten together. Maybe you haven't seen them in a long time because of the pandemic, and now you're finally able to get together. it says, be sure to remember the good times, and your narcissist card that goes along with that is, for your immediate future, is control issues. So you might have a narcissist in your life who can't handle if they're not in complete control of whatever's going on. So controlling the narrative, enslaved by control issues, bound by a cold heart or a cold spirit. They may be bound by fear or bound by the need to always be right. They may be bound by the inability to be wrong. And these things can all hold them back. But how do you react and how do you respond? I really like this picture on this card right here, because it shows three gals and they're partying it up, and you know they're fixing to get drunk. And this kind of reminds me that, you know, just because you're getting out and you're having a good time, you know, drink responsibly, and you might be able to avoid some of these type of negative problems, because when you drink alcohol, anything, and do drugs, not just alcohol, anything that's really bothering you is definitely going to come to the surface. Even if now's not the time, it's still going to happen. So, you know, what do you do? How do you react if this happens? First off, don't argue back with them. That's definitely not going to help the situation. It says that freedom of choice is always there. It's always an option. You can always walk away. Do not have binary thinking, which means binary code is like ones and zeros. Ones and zeros. So basically, there is no gray. There's every black and white, and there's not like anything else. So that kind of thinking is going to lead to arguments and temper tantrums and just trouble. So avoid being a narcissist by being truly free. Let go of control. Let yourself cry. Admit that you're wrong, and let others win. All right. So this is by, let me see who. You know, I forgot to write down who I got this video from, but it's most likely Dr. Grande or Dr. Romani. Those are my two go-to on the internet for anything, you know, that a doctor can help with psychologically. I love those two doctors. They really help so much. All right, so Sagittarius. Are we still on Sagittarius? Yes, we are. What your final outcome is the Magician card. And this has to do with the planet Mercury and Virgo. So the Magician plants a seed and you can manifest your future. The aces represent adopting a new idea, a new beginning. You may need to change or find some type of inspiration. Okay, so the Magician is definitely, you know, always looking for some new tricks to move forward, but he is holding a wand in one hand, and, you know, he's got a cup on the table, and basically he uses all the different signs in order to move forward with the show. Okay, so let's see what the Narcissist card goes along with this. Okay, so this one's a little bit crazy. Okay, y'all ready for this? How to detect a psychopath. All right, so narcissists struggle to feel empathy, but now not all psychopaths are narcissists, and not all narcissists are psychopaths, despite what some people say. Struggle to feel empathy. And, you know, something about a psychopath is they may not be a psychopath out of just typically the things that happen to them in their life. they may have been born with that in their genealogy, okay? And that can make a huge difference as to what type of person that you're dealing with. So, number 2 is they are amazing liars. They're very, very, like a magician. Okay. So I'm a Virgo, so I'm getting a little offended at my own reading right now, but but let's move forward because we're not going to show any kind of bias. We're going to keep moving. So they don't feel guilt, and they have an exaggerated sense of egotism. So they have a very huge ego, and they act like the rules don't apply to them. Okay, this is the number 1 for me. It's actually number 5 on this card, but for me, it's number 1. The rules don't apply to me is a pretty big sign that you need to stay away from this person. They could get you in some major trouble, okay? And let's see. Number 6 is behavioral chaos, impulse desires, and they can't control their anger. If you are very careful around them, you have to be extremely careful around them because they might snap. All right, so number 7 is a struggle with they struggle with genuine emotions. So again, with your first card over here, we had fake. So if you are sensing someone that seems fake, then that's one thing, but a lot of times you don't really, I sure as heck haven't. In the past, when I found out that people stabbed me in the back, I literally did not know that they weren't my friend. I thought that they were my BFF, and I was skipping along into the sunset with them. And, you don't always know. So even though, these signs are here, but oh, they did this because of that, or making excuses for them. Just be careful, okay? Because number 6 is behavioral chaos, impulsive desires, can't control their anger. If you are very careful, oh yes, I'm sorry, you have to be very careful around them. And then they struggle with genuine emotions, and they lead a parasitic lifestyle. In other words, they don't really work. They take advantage of people around them, and they won't even do anything around the house. They'll try to get you to do things for them. They kind of act like they're your manager, and they're telling you, do this and do that and do this, but they don't do anything. That's a sign. That's a really big sign. So the disgust threshold. So they don't have any threshold for disgust. They might see blood or any number of things that would make any one of us vomit, but it doesn't really bother them. And then number 10 is facial reactions. They don't have any eye contact. So if you're talking to somebody and they're looking at your mouth instead of your eyes or your feet or somewhere else that they shouldn't be looking when you're trying to get some eye contact, that's a pretty good sign that you might be dealing with a psychopath or a narcissist. Okay, so your number 11 is they don't notice distress. And they might be walking past a child who's crying, and most people are like, what's that baby crying about? Or is that child with its parents? Or that somebody's gonna look and try to see what's going on with that poor baby, but not a psychopath. They're not gonna be even noticing it. They're just narcissistic. Okay, they've got their blinders up and they're not even worried about it. All right, so let's take some manifestations cards because this is a little bit heavy. You do have the 10 of cups, 9 of cups. 9 of cups, you've got the let's go out and party cup. You got the Magician Cup, you got the Moon card. These are all really good cards. And the Narcissist cards that go with them are basically just like a warning or to let you know what might if you come into contact with somebody like this, that'll give you a clue. All right. So I just want to go ahead and say that I'm not a doctor and I'm definitely not a psychic. So I'm not trying to say that any of these people are, especially not Virgos or psychopaths, because I'm a Virgo. But, you know, Magician is definitely somebody you want to keep your eyes on, okay? Because they're definitely trying to throw some tricks around, okay? Alright, so for your manifestation card, we've got Trouble in Paradise under What's Crossing You. So maybe I wasn't totally wrong. And then in your recent past, we've got Agape Love. Alright, so you might have felt like you were in some deep, deep love, or maybe you are. And then for your immediate future, it says, create an energetic vortex by setting your intentions for your life. Alright, so anytime you start a project, it creates an energy vortex. And until you get that project finished, you know, it's wide open. Alright, and for your final outcome, we've got Strong Vibes, Happy Lives. Alright, so it looks like everything's going to work out for you there, Sag. You just gotta like hang in there, and if you do run into any of these people, at least now you will be ready and you will have prepared. You'll be prepared. Okay? So I hope you enjoy this reading, and I hope that it gives you some kind of some good positive vibes to move forward into 2021. You all have a wonderful day, and y'all come back now, you hear?